A hot mess. I've been running my mouth for 3 minutes. Well, 2. Hey, cuties. Happy Monday. Let me get a little lotion. Let me grab water. Hold on, guys.
Chit-chat with Cutie. Chit-chat with Cutie. Chit-chat.
Hey. Hello, cuties. Well, we're going to go ahead and get into some things real quickly. Let me say some quick hellos. Happy Monday again. Shout out to the cutie mods in the chat. I see Aunt Debbie. I see Pink Table Topics. My sis. And let's see here. Keep Tyra in your prayers. Tyra is okay, but just keep her in her prayers. And hello, Renee, or is it Reen? Let me know. Veronica Monroe. Hey, Veronica Monroe. Hey, Miss Lady. Hey, Pamela. Trending. Hey, Trending. Thank you, Trending, for reaching out earlier as well. I appreciate you, as well as the information that was provided. Thank you to my little sis. That's what I call Trending Child. Hey, Rose. Hey, Tia P. Deshonda, I'm going to do a quick take on you in a minute. What's going on, sis? For those of you that are here, please hit the like button on your way in. I would appreciate it. Hey, Miss Lady. Hey, Annette. Hey, Teresa. Hey, Sharon. Who said that? Hey, who said that? Why do I say that in my little country accent? I make up an accent. I don't know, child. But hey. All right. Hey, Neva. We got a quick hour, so I'm going to go through these names very quickly. Hey, Liddell. Did I get you, Neva? I think I did. Hey, Neva. Kashori. Oh, I like that name. Hi. Kashori. That is cute. Hey, Miss Linda. Hello again, sis. Hey, Tina. Tyler. Hey, Tyler. Betty. Tyler. I believe Tyler is the one that was kept making me say Betty. Let me say that. Hey, Sherry Edwards. Hello, Patrice. Hello, Krista. Okay, Siri. I wasn't talking to you. Chris. Stephanie. Child, everything going on in my office. You hear me? Oh, I got too much going on in here. I really do. I took this weekend to organize. I work off of 4 different monitors. So my office desk looks wonderful. But I need to do something with these devices that just listen to you all day long. But hello again, Aunt Debbie. Aunt Debbie, let me stop this music, child. Aunt Debbie has a YouTube channel. Aunt Debbie, I asked you yesterday, ma'am, to drop that link on the members only post because I could not find Aunt Debbie, not the Aunt Debbie that I'm looking for. So Aunt Debbie's YouTube channel name is Aunt Debbie. Aunt Debbie, if you go to your YouTube channel page and you go to your About section, there's an option where it says share, and then you can copy the link. So if any of you, anybody in the chat got Aunt Debbie's channel, I'm not sure, Aunt Debbie, but I want to make sure that we promote you. You're a whole legend out in these streets, and I want to make sure that we drop your link. So if you're able to do that, Aunt Debbie, let us know so we can get you, make sure that we all are tuned in to your page. All right. I'm done. I was waiting since yesterday on Debbie, and I didn't see you on the membership only post. But all right, let me go ahead. What are we? 6 minutes in. Hey, Miss Lady again. Hey, Lizzie. Good afternoon. Hey, Elizabeth. Who else? Who else? I've been working out to my theme song, child, getting it in. Hey, Marita. Another cutie mod in the house. To the content creators that's in the building, Maritha, Pink Table Topics, Trending, Aunt Debbie, who else? Any content creators that's in the building, feel free to drop your link. You guys know I do not mind. Drop your link in the chat so those that aren't subscribed can subscribe to your channel. All right, I'm scrolling. Hi, Tofi. Is it Tofi? You guys with all of these cute names. Hey, somebody's mama. All right. We're going to get started, guys, because we only have an hour. And honestly, I did my review. Let me turn this off. I did my review, my recap on Love and Marriage Huntsville Season 6, Episode 23, Holt, Her Accountable. Great play on words, I thought. As far as the title of the episode, we know Martell won't nail Fletcher and everybody else and they mama to hold Mel accountable for all this mess he got made up in his head. Shout out, let me say too, and she sends me some things on Instagram. But I was going through a little Facebook group this morning, and they took it all the way back with the video where Martell just didn't say that Mel was cheating back then. Okay. And I did screen record it. So I may try to do something members only where we can discuss. But I think the majority of us know that if Mel was doing what Mr. Man is saying she was doing, we would have been heard about it. Not after the divorce or not when they were going through the divorce procedure. He irks me. But anyway, again, thank you all so much for joining me for this midday power hour. If you haven't hit the like button, please go ahead and do so. I'm going to do some quick takes real quick. I'm going to share a few things. I got a question for Marceau or Madam Marceau, child, thanks to Kiki. Cracked me up, okay? But first, let's go ahead and get started with this. Now, sis, I'm not going to say who, child. I'm not going to say who, but I'm going to put a picture up on the screen. All right, the Cutie crew know who. But this is one of my Cutie crew sisters dancing right next to Stormy Steele. And I do have the video. Unfortunately, I could not post the video. They were doing the wobble child. And Stormy was wobbling. That's all I got to say. Stormy, they look like everybody looked like they had fun. I'm not going to talk about Stormy's dancing. I may not be the best dancer, but Stormy looked like she was struggling a little bit, child. So again, I'm not going to say the name because this is one of our inside on the ground Cutie crew members and sisters. And baby, she got all the tea. So yes, this was Stormy. You guys see Stormy. This is my sis right here. Okay. Speaking of my sis, let me go ahead and take this down. My sis dropped some more tea. Now, I heard that Mr. Marceau Scott, I saw it and clicked right on off of it because it was just a playing around like Marceau does. But Marceau seems to be into lie detector tests, I hear. And Marceau, I just got a question for you. Can you let us know if you were at the classic after party last weekend? Not this past one, at the plumb bar. Since we taking lie detector tests and all that good stuff, uh, I just got a question. Did you have an interaction with someone that has the deepest dimples that I've seen? I think you may have even asked about those dimples, allegedly, Marceau. So you may want to add that child to your lie detector test. We're going to hold on to those pictures. But Marceau, let the people know if you were out partying at the classic after party. I think you had on all black too, if I'm not mistaken. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Allegedly. Allegedly. But I think he will remember the interaction that he had with the cutie sis, with the deep dimples child. I think he would remember. Okay. So yeah, we're gonna hold on to those pictures. We'll see if word gets back to bottom row. So yes, ma'am, trending. Yes, ma'am. Add that to the test. Let me highlight trending's uh statement. Hey, True Wisdom. Let me add that. Where are you trending? I gotta scroll down. Hey, LaDawn. But yeah, this live, guys, is really for you guys. I promise this coming week, I will be back on schedule to go live on Sundays. Hey, Cricket, to do our recap as well as open panel. So, as I mentioned, I did Trenton. I still ain't found. Hey, Tawana, I still ain't found that comment. Okay, here you go. Yep. Add that to the test, bottom row. So, can you add it for us? Plum Bar, Birmingham, if I'm not mistaken. Marceau Scott, legs, hips, and body yaddy. Legs, hips, and body yaddy. Now, from what I understand, Marceau had on all black, had on some Christian Louboutin shoes, and was very friendly. That's all I'm going to say. Reese, the diva, thank you so much for joining the Cutie crew. Cutie crew starting this week. We're going to do some hot topic, members only stuff, and a little more when it comes to all of the reality TV shows. Let me just say this before I drop this link and before we chat about the episode, before I chat with you guys, because I chatted, child. Thank you guys so much that watched that video as well. But I just want to say this. Bravo is bringing it. Bravo is bringing it. Okay. Married to a Medicine was good. And I got some thoughts about that. We will discuss Married to Medicine tomorrow during Power Hour Live, same time, as well as some hot topics. Because I got some things to say about Dr. G's new wife, child. I don't know how, well, I'll save it. I'm going to save it. Real Housewives of Potomac as well started yesterday. Poor Robin. That's all I got to say. We will discuss that as well. But I put on the community board, what would it take? And I forgot the question that I asked. What's needed? Let me go to this phone, child, and see if I could find my own doggone question. But what's needed for a shakeup for Love and Marriage Huntsville? My question was, what will it take for a new start or to shake up Love and Marriage Huntsville? Considering these other shows that I just mentioned, what would it take for Love and Marriage Huntsville? We are faithful watchers. I'm invested in Love and Marriage Huntsville. But if I'm being honest, they need to do something. They really do. And me personally, and I think a lot of people feel this way, I really do like the addition of especially Nell Fletcher, but both Fletchers. So I like that new addition, but something else has to change. Something has to change for me. It's getting a little boring because, and we'll get into this. Like I said, I'm going to drop the link It is getting a little boring for me because Carlos ruined it as far as Marceau and Tisha, if you ask me. When he admitted on his podcast that he told them that they really didn't have to discuss much other than their business, it seems like Tisha runs away from anything else over it. Okay, Elisa, you say the shakeup would be for Scott's one and two to be gone. Poof. Bye bye. Now, look, I am going to say this. If, if they would force Letitia and Marceau to really, not be involved in everybody else's business and share more of their things. For instance, their scene yesterday together to me seemed like a filler scene. We're over the Espo. So I was just kind of confused as to how they are still talking about the Espo even after this doggone barbecue and everything else that's happened. And I think that again, they are becoming a filler couple, a couple that just meddle in everybody else's stuff, but really don't want to give you the tea. So if they could somehow force Scott's 1.0 to give more, I can do. Hey, Hannah Grace, I can do them if they're gonna share their what's going on with them. Scott's 2.0 can go. That's just it. That's all. Scott's 2.0 can go. Overseeing Maurice in the suits, but not seeing him what he's doing in the suits, for me, they can go. Kimmy, I would have loved to have seen more of Kimmy's journey other than just quick takes. Like she mentioned, what she's been experiencing as far as breathing and all of that when her Mel and Tisha sat down together. But it's always a quick take, a quick take. When she was with her friend, she gave us a quick take on the doctor saying that this could cause, you to be depressed or whatever. Quick takes. And if you're just gonna give us quick takes, you can just go for me. But I see you guys in the comments saying both Scott's 1 and 2 can go. Okay, CC, you said Scott's 2.0 really need to go as well as the Whitlows. Yeah, the Whitlows can go. Seem like Big Lou is gone already, child. Have we seen Big Lou at all this second half? Because every time I see Tiffany, she by herself or with the baby child. Sis, you said remove Tiffany and Lou and remove Maurice and Kimmy. Then force, thank you, sis. That's just what I just said. Then force Bottom, Rosso, and Tisha to be more upfront about their reality. Facts. It would have been nice for me since we found out that Tisha is the one that approached Kiki to try to find out some information, and now Tisha is the victim, getting up, running out. I don't want to talk about it. I'm about to go. No, y'all getting paid for that? Really? So yeah, a shakeup is needed, especially if they want to compete with these other reality TV shows. That's one thing I love about Bravo. They bring it. And their producers bring it. The editing and all of that, I just love. So I'm excited about the shows that just premiered yesterday. Bell Collective is on its way back as well. Carlos King been a little quiet when it comes to Love and Marriage Huntsville. Anybody know what's going on with that? Carlos used to promote his number one show. And it seems like, for me, this is about the last time I remember Carlos talking about Love and Marriage Huntsville. It seems like when Kenya Moore called out Martell Holt at that reunion, Carlos got ghost as far as talking about promoting or anything else his own show. He is noticeably, child, been talking this long. And I said I was dropping a link. Lord have mercy. He's been noticeably absent, even on Twitter on Saturday nights, and he used to be there. So is there something going on with the show, child? Did Martell Ruin Love Marriage Huntsville. Um, I'm dropping a link, but you guys know this is a power hour. So whoever want to join me, feel free to click that link. I do see that some of you have dropped your links to your channel in the chat, and great job for that. Well, sis, I think you're the only one that I saw that dropped your link. But any content creators in the house, feel free to go ahead and drop your links to your channel. Now, I wish I had my other phone with me. And you guys know I don't do this, but I had somebody to send me something. Who child? What was this person's name? She is a subscriber. And child, she all the way somewhere else talking about chit chat with QT. And I'm just wondering why. Here she go. Now I did block her, but I thought that she was subscribed to me. Maybe she was. So I'm not gonna say the subscriber's name. I'm not going to say the channel that she was on. And she definitely has a right to her opinion, but I just want to say this. She said something about me calling people brother. Namely, she was talking about Anthony Lofty's. And Chit Chat with Cutie calls him brother. Let me say this. I don't call anybody brother, but my brother. Okay? Miss Lady that's going around saying stuff, but I do call any male that dropped down in my chat bro. That goes for Anthony Lofty's. That goes for Braylon. Chef Don Don used to be here. I call men bro. Okay. So if you're going to say it, just say it right. I call one person, just one, brother. And that's my blood brother. All right. So if you happen to listen to this or see this or whatever, I ain't got a problem with it, but get it correct. Get it correct. Okay. So anyway, I see a couple people backstage. Let me make sure because we only got 35 minutes left. So when I do let you guys up, please be mindful. We have to keep these comments at 2 minutes max. 2 minute max. This is a power hour. And I promise next Sunday, when it comes to Love and Marriage Huntsville, I will be going live and have open panel. That way you guys will not have to be rushed. But let me bring up Phaedra. Phaedra brought it. First episode, Married to Medicine. She brought it. All right, LaDawn, is this you, sis?
Yes, it is.
All right, thanks for joining me. Maritha, is this you, sis?
Yes, ma'am. Hey,
Hey.
LaDon.
All
Hey,
right.
Marita.
Hello. All right, Charlotte, is this you?
Yes, this is me.
Hey, Charlotte, how are you?
I'm good. How about yourself?
Pretty good, pretty good. Thanks for joining me. And we have my sis, Pink Diva, in the house. Hey, sis.
Hey, hey, ladies.
Hello.
Hey.
Hey, Pink Diva, Pink Table Topics. All right, panel. Thank you guys so much for joining me. Real quickly, let me go back. Reese, the Diva, thank you again for joining the Cutie Crew, and Lizzie Wheeler. Lizzie, I thought you were a member. But thank you for joining the Cutie Crew. Cutie Crew, we got four $25 winners because you guys did not win the $100 trivia question the other day. So we'll do that this week. We'll do that this week
I'm going to
as
win
well
it. I'm
as
going
the
to stay up
YouTube.
long enough to win it this time. I'm going to stay up all
Maritha,
the
yeah,
way through
you
the
left,
whole
girl.
time.
You
Yeah,
left. They
I
didn't
had
win
to
this
wake up
time.
early, so I will stay this time
Yeah.
because the
Yep.
time done
Yep. They
changed
didn't
Well,
now.
get it.
Marita, it was all right because it was a whole novel, so we wasn't gonna get it.
Oh my goodness. No, don't do that. Look at Simply Beautiful. Talking about that trivia was crazy. Y'all not right. Look, for $100, it got to be a little hard. Okay. Okay, Lizzie. I thought so. All right, guys, we got to get started because we got 30 minutes left. So, again, please be mindful. Let's do 2, 3 minutes. I'm going to remove the link out the chat Anybody last minute, if you want to join us, please make sure to join us. And I'm sorry to rush, but lids on. Scene one, Mel, Kiki, then we have Marcel and Tisha. Then we have Mel, the event planner, and Miss Van. I was so happy to see Miss Van. We had Stormy and Kiki. Last but not least, we had, well, not last, Mel, Tisha, Kimmy, Martell, Nell. Give me your just recap of the episode.
All right. Well, I'm glad. Well, when Mel did the reading of the test, the saying negative, negative, in the beginning, she was reading it off. And then I think towards the end, she started getting a little silly with it because it was like straight
Mm-hmm.
across the board and started throwing out names and mispronouncing and all of that. So, like people do, I think they went and held on that one word methadone. Also, it
Yeah.
is it's a special test. So, if it is on there, it's not going to read the same way as the particular Suboxone and methadone drug test. So
God.
I just think that they just want to find anything
Mhm.
to try to put this girl down. But it is what it is. I like the scene. I like the way Kiki handled herself. Um, I like the way Amin got her back. So that's that. Now I'm gonna go
Mhm.
to I really don't have nothing to say about Kimmy
Well,
because yeah, look at the face. She said, "Mm-hmm.
right.
Now what?" You know, but I didn't doubt her anyway because
Right.
I know I've been through it. I've been through it in every way, shape, or form when people didn't
Mhm.
believe. You know, so
Yeah.
that's what it is. But I also think that the scene with Kiki and Stormy, I liked it because they both felt comfortable. They both feel like they're bonding and that they
Mhm.
must speak to each other besides taping because they're real comfortable with each other. And I like that because everybody needs somebody, you know
Mhm.
what I mean? And it also allowed me to see Stormy um mingle on a different level in a different relationship besides with Mel, you know. So when I always see her in a counter with Mel, it's in a negative light. So I can't really see Stormy other than that. But when she had this scene with Kiki, I was able to separate that and see her differently, you know,
Mhm.
just a little, you know. So I can say that about the scene. I like Kiki's clapbacks. I feel like
1
she
minute,
can handle
LaDon.
it. Okay. So I like that scene. All right. Now, Marcel throwing Tisha under the bus once again, letting it be known that she is jealous and got a problem with Mel. Is unbelievable.
Mhm.
It's unbelievable that he blatantly, she had the cry in her voice. The tears didn't come down, but that voice and that fake whiny was like ready to cry. She ran out that room to cry after that scene
You
because she
think
was
so?
humiliated. She was humiliated that he was coming at
Mm.
her trying to, let it be known to the world, which we already know she got a problem with Mel, but she tries to play unbothered like she don't. But her husband drilled it in and kept on drilling it in, making it a point to say, yeah, you
Mhm.
do, and you were wrong. So, and then about
Mhm.
the shakeup needs to happen. I
Yeah.
agree with everything you said, chit chat, in the order that you said it. Those particular ones got to go now. Raise up. She's doing. Her family looks interesting, and I think they can add somebody else. They can add
Mhm.
another couple. You know what I mean? I'm here for it. You know,
You know
so.
who I would like to see as well? Let me just say this. Melody Cherie is in her producer bag, okay? And she's
Mhm,
trying. Just the interaction with her and Tisha. When Tisha got out that car, I'm like, girl, you could have just
mm,
stayed at home. But that's Mel
mhm.
trying to produce.
That's right.
I'm okay with you. We said we was gonna be cool with each other. Let's go ahead
Mhm,
and film together. I would love to see
mhm.
Shanita Foster with Mel on this show.
I was
But go
thinking
ahead, Dawn.
that.
You got 30 seconds. Go ahead.
I was
Yes.
thinking that, yes, Shanita Foster. That's who I was
Mm-hmm.
thinking. All right.
Mm-hmm.
And the scene with Kimmy, I think Kimmy is a filler. Kimmy's not interesting. Kimmy's just phony. And the only time she speaks of anything going on with her is when Mel is concerned. Mel's the only one that even questions, how are you doing? How are you feeling? To make her have those conversations. Tisha act like that
Yeah.
was the first time she heard of it,
Great
and
point.
that's your sister-in-law.
Mm,
You know,
great
so
point.
I'm just tired of them. But so that's how I felt.
Oh, yeah, and you know I hate to rush you guys, but you made some excellent points. Great point about Mel being the one to pull it up out of Kimmy, because that is true. Tisha, like I said, she could have just stayed at home to me. And you know, as content creators, I promise you guys, I try. Now I may let loose on Martell's ass and the bird because you know that is what it is, but you know, give us something. Give us something to talk about. And Tisha, you know, for me, it's just not doing it. I'm over the victim role. Everybody else over the victim role. She needs to scan through Twitter. People are tired of the victim role. And as I mentioned in my video, and then we go into you, Maritha, if Tisha don't want anybody talking about her marriage without proof, then she should not be talking about whether Kiki is on prescription drugs without proof. She ain't got no proof because she ain't said no proof. So we don't want to hear that you and the family is just talking and she's doing this. No, where's the proof? Because it applies. It's the same thing. If you want that respect, give her that respect. Go ahead, Maritha. Thank you, LaDawn. I hate rushing you. We'll come back. I promise. Maritha, you are
Okay.
up. Whatever scene that you want to give your input on, go ahead and give it to us.
Okay, the scene for me was, I am so over Tisha. I'm over Tisha. This last episode let me realize for myself. It's like things that you have to see for yourself, and when you see it, you have to take it for what it is because that's what it is. Tisha is dumb on purpose. She's not playing the victim. This is purposely. She's just dumb
Mhm.
for real because there is no way that you could tell me that you've been with a man. Tisha don't want to face this. It's not like she don't see it and don't know it. She don't want to face it. So she's just dumb on purpose. And I'm so over that, honey. If you want your man to cheat in peace, I'm gonna let him cheat in peace and leave you alone while he cheating in peace. That part for her. And Kimmy, just like you say, it's not much you can say about Kimmy, but what you say, she's just a filler because you got to think of something to say. She's just there.
Yeah.
She just somebody who come to the party with somebody else. You don't even know why she, really there. Because
Mhm.
she never bring anything. She just, there. And
Right. Like what's going on with Jalen? You know, what's up with your son? Anything other than Maurice and his lack of sex? Great point. Go
that's
ahead,
it.
Maurice.
So, I'm not going to say anything about that because that's just a whole nother story within itself. We've been hearing that, ever since they've been married, and that was what 5 seasons ago. So I don't know what to tell you. If it ain't worked out by now, I don't know what to tell you to do. And then the most touching part of the whole episode was Melody and her mom.
Oh my
And
God.
when you have a daughter, and when you have a child, period, but it's just something about your daughters, when your daughters go through struggles and stuff like that, and you done seen your daughter cry, and you can't, you can tell her what to do, but you can't really tell her what to do. You have to listen at her. And I believe that's what Miss Van did for Mel. She was there for Mel.
Mhm.
She cried with her daughter, and she saw everything. She saw her daughter broken. And it just, like her,
Yeah.
she saw all the bad part, the ugly parts of her daughter. All the
Yes.
hurt parts, everything. And when Miss Van said what she said to Mel, that just broke me because that was so
Yeah.
special. And Mel and her mom hugged, and she said, "Oh, mom," and that just touched my heart so much because
Mm,
it was like, "Baby, you did this. The battle is over. You're not victorious," and it
that's right.
just that was a moment for me. That was a moment for me, and
Hmm.
that scene. I'm trying to hurry up, and Martell and Nail.
Hmm.
You know, yeah, I'm not going to talk about that because I hope we're going to be able to talk about that at a longer period. I don't want to talk about that,
That's
but
why
it's
they
a
Child,
cut
I
whole
that.
need
lot of stuff
do
I
I
could
need
say.
to come back later tonight, or Maritha? Do you go live on your channel? Schedule a
No,
live.
you know what, Chit Chat, that's not what my channel is about.
Okay.
People
Oh,
come
so
over there
y'all
to
want all
recite.
y'all want all the mess on my channel, huh?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, 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 yeah. And when they need some
Okay.
calm, they can come on over to me. They come over to me 6 o'clock in the morning, and I get them all the
Uh-huh.
calm and relaxation they need. But yeah,
Uh-huh.
oh,
Okay. All right,
yeah.
sis. Go ahead. Give us your thought on Martell and Nail.
No, I'm not gonna do it because it's just too much. It's just really too much. I'm just gonna say Martell was selfish. Martell is playing the victim. He is acting like Mel did something to him. It's just so much you could say about that scene that was so out of order.
Mm.
It was
Mm-hmm.
so out of order. So it would take a lot. But the Love and Marriage Huntsville is getting interesting leading up to the reunion because it was so much, they said it was so much drama going on at the reunion. And so we can almost piece it together to try to see really where all the drama would come from. But you
Mm-hmm.
still don't
Mm-hmm.
know because it's too many pieces. So that's it. That's
Too
all I
many.
had to say. It's too
All
many
right.
pieces.
Well, I'm gonna try. I done kicked off this workout journey, but I will try later on to come to come live tonight. I'm not gonna try. I think I am. We'll come live later and we will talk about especially Martell and Nail, since you can't, I get it. It's not, we on a time crunch. But I made sure to, this picture right here did it for me when it comes to a
Yeah.
mother supporting their daughter. Because look, it's
Mhm.
disappointing that Mel and Martell got divorced anyway. And as a parent, I'm sure that not only Miss Van, but even Mama Holt, we know Mama Holt had some benefits when her son was married to Mel. But when you break up a family unit like that, I'm sure that it was felt, not sure, we know it was felt from the parents and all of that. But to see her as a mother was absolutely wonderful. Miss Van just gives safe. She just gives what a mother is supposed to give. Now I could talk about Wanda, but I ain't gonna go there. That's why we
Mhm.
still see Miss Van and we don't see Wanda. Okay, the difference is
Okay.
why. Um, but I loved it. I absolutely loved it. It warmed my heart, and I can't wait to see the ceremony. So thank you for that, sis. We will come back later on tonight so we can get it in. Aunt Debbie, I know you in the chat. I'm trying to look. Somebody point out to me if Aunt Debbie put her link to her channel in the chat. If not, please reach out to me, Aunt Debbie, on Instagram so we can get that going. But thank you, sis, for that. We're going to go over to Charlotte. Charlotte, you got about 3-4 minutes. Your thoughts on the episode, Love and Marriage Huntsville.
Hello, Chad. Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Hello.
I just like Amy Rita said, I agree. That scene with Mel and her mom, it had me all teared up because it was so nice. And
It
it
was.
seems so real.
Mm-hmm.
And as far as the other people on the show, I think they all should go, except for
Wait
Mel.
a minute. Oh, okay.
I
Okay.
think all of I think that Martell and Mel, they're making money off of their storyline because the rest of them don't have a storyline. And
Mm-hmm.
Kiki, she should stay, but
Mm-hmm.
everybody else they can go because I don't
Mm-hmm.
think it's fair that they're going off of everybody else's storyline, and the Scots they don't have a storyline. And
Gotcha.
Tisha, she just I just can't stand her.
Mm.
And Kimmy, she could have did
So what?
helped a lot of women with her
Yeah.
cancer. She could have helped a lot because my sister had cancer, and she could
Mm-hmm.
have helped a lot of people. But she just, to me, Kimmy is a snake,
Oh wow.
very messy. I don't like her.
All
So,
right. Well, what did you think about Charlotte? The exchange, real quickly, between the male Kimmy and Tisha. Did you think it was awkward from the start? Because I did.
um, Mel, Kimmy, and Tisha. Yeah, it was a little
Right on the
awkward to
screen.
me. Yeah,
It was okay.
yes,
Okay.
because
I
it was it. Mel seemed like she was trying to get it out of Tisha, but Tisha didn't want to talk about it as usual, And Kimmy, she need to keep it real and tell Tisha, but she
yeah.
always want to be on Tisha's side.
That's true.
Yeah, and that we know wasn't always the case. When it comes to Kimmy, and look, I don't expect her to um just jump down her throat, but for me, the episode hold her accountable naturally. That applied to Martell concerning Mel, but yeah, Tisha needs to be held accountable as well.
That's what I
And
said.
the
Why?
whole
Why do they get the
yeah,
opportunity to sign a contract stating that they can't talk about their infidelity, but everybody else does? I don't think that was fair.
yeah, well, they didn't sign a contract saying that they wouldn't talk about their infidelity. And I don't even know if their contract stipulates what was said on Carlos
Oh,
King's
I'm sorry, but
podcast, but what was said was,
my
it
doctor's
was getting a
office is
little rough.
calling me.
All right.
Okay, Charlotte. Okay, Charlotte. We'll
You
talk to you
guys have
later.
a good day.
We will talk to
Bye
you
Bye
bye.
later.
bye. Have a good day.
You too. You too. Thanks for joining me. And sis, are you here? Because your
I'm here.
device keeps connecting, disconnecting. Okay, you're here. All right. Real quickly, Tynesha, I totally agree. Tisha came in with weird energy and Mel better than me,
Mhm.
baby, because I probably would have just left. I would have. But go ahead, sis. We got
Mel
about
ignored
15
her.
minutes left. She did.
I'm like everybody else. I think we need a little bit more time. However, I did enjoy this episode. It was really, really, really good. I loved how Nell held Martell accountable. I love that not Tisha, Kiki passed the drug test or however that works. I'm glad she was open to doing it. And I believe, like everybody else said, Mel is putting on her producer's hat on this episode. I did not like Tisha's attitude when she approached because, like it was said already, she could have just stayed at home. She came on
Yes.
10 already. She
Yes.
came with the
Uh-oh, sis.
mindset.
Is she there? You there, sis?
I'm here. I'm here. Can you hear me?
Okay, I can hear you now. You said Tisha should like it. You said Tisha should have stayed at home. Then you
Yeah, I
disconnected
feel
and
like she should.
reconnected.
I feel like she should have stayed home if she was coming with that attitude. I feel
Mm-hmm.
like she came on the defense already because she sort of knew that they were going to bring up the situation. I don't see it as such a big deal that she was trying to make it. I think that she was just trying to avoid having the conversation on camera. And I didn't like the fact that Kimmy yet again tried to jump in and speak on her behalf.
Mm-hmm.
She does that all the time. I wish she would just speak on things that matters to her or that's about her situation and let Tisha speak for herself. If I was male, I wouldn't have brought it up because, if you pull up and I'm standing outside to greet you and you come in with an
Mm,
attitude, that already turns me off with you right there because she spoke to Kimmy, but
that's
she
nasty.
didn't speak to Mel, and Mel was there first. And I think that was very disrespectful. So I can see why, Kiki got offended with it on the last season because how you speaking to everybody around me, but yet you attended my event because she could have turned down the invitation and just not came to work out if she was coming with that approach.
That's right.
So I didn't like that. But
Mm-hmm.
I loved the scene with Mel and her mom. I'm so glad they finally showed Miss
Yeah.
Van on the show. I think it was a very intimate
Me
moment.
too.
It was such a great family dynamic and a connection between a mother and a daughter. I'm like that with my two girls, so I really love seeing that relationship, and we need to see more of Miss Van
Mm,
on the show because she really do bring something. And I know we're all talking about the Scots and all of them leaving the show. It probably won't happen on Love and Marriage Huntsville, but I wish Mel could create something similar on her Nubian channel, and she can include her mom and her
me too.
brother and Miss Mel and Fletcher, and create a different dynamic on a different platform,
Mhm.
and let it go the way that she intended for it to go initially, without the whole Martell debacle that happened and played itself out on this show. So I wish to see her do something like that that's bigger on a different platform that'll be better without the Scots, because I just don't think they're going to bring their uh, genuine authenticity to this show at any point. They are giving us what they're going to
Mm,
give us, and I don't believe there's going to be any major changes that comes with that. But I love how Neil, really held it down
mm.
to Martell in regards to that. And it's the audacity of him to feel a certain kind of way. Negro, we're 2 years in. Y'all 2 years divorced, and you still got a problem with what
Oh my God.
you. That's none of your business. It's not a slap in your face because it's not
Oh,
attached to anything about you.
yeah.
She
So
gone?
I'm here. Can you hear me?
No,
Yeah.
she
I
back.
can hear you.
You back.
Okay.
You're back, sis. I
Okay.
don't know why your device keeps this. It. We heard you. So the last part that I'll say that we
Okay.
heard, you was talking about Nell holding Martell accountable.
Yeah, and I don't like the fact that he keeps trying to push the narrative of that she cheated too, because we all know him being the arrogant person that he is, he would not have stayed with her if she had cheated multiple times as he
Period.
stated. So we know that's not true. We know that's not facts, and I'm glad that I just hate that Neil didn't just say, you know what, out of all the times we've conversated, you never mentioned this during the marriage, and all the times that we've been, with the both of you, why is it that it was after the divorce that all of these cheating rumors came with her? But we know he's the type of person that wants to put everybody else in the forefront when it's about him taking accountability for the things that he says. So this is who he is. But
Mhm.
I really did enjoy that scene. But I think Neil could have just stuck it to him a little bit harder
Yeah.
though.
Yeah. I agree because we know that firsthand. And I'll say this real quickly, guys. When we are done with this live, I will schedule a live for this evening for us to solely, or we'll try solely, talk about the scene with Nell and Martell. But I agree with you, sis. First of all, men just not set up that way, okay? Just to accept continuous, multiple cheating, so that's a lie. But we also know that Neil Fletcher and Chris Fletcher served as somewhat of counselors to Mel and Martell before they even got to the point of divorce. And
Mm-hmm.
you're right. She knows the details. She knows what Martell was saying then, and she should have said that in that scene. But it should have been Holt him accountable because that's a great point. Hold him accountable. You didn't say that. So don't say it now. And even if you say it now, nobody cares. You guys are divorced. And she should have cheated. I'll say that. I mean, I've said that and I'll say it again. She should have cheated,
She should have
with everything that this man,
cheated.
yeah, she should have cheated. Keisha Cole voice, okay?
That's right.
Um, with everything that that man put her through, yeah, we don't care. We don't care. So I'm over Martell. I think that unfortunately, it would still be a pretty nice show if Martell would hold himself accountable. If
Mm-hmm.
Martell would accept that this is over because of me. Mel and
Mm-hmm.
I are over because of me. I don't have to try to
Mm-hmm.
bring her down. I don't have to throw this chick in her face. I don't have to do this. We gonna co-parent successfully. They could have been showing how that looks because people go through divorce every day. So it would have been a
Mm-hmm.
beautiful thing to see this ex couple still working together as parents, like we saw in Destin, Florida. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so for me, Martell Holt has single-handedly ruined Love and Mary Tunstall with his shenanigans, and the Scott with them not being open to sharing what's going on with them. What's up with the Scott mama? What's up with you all's family? What's up? What else do you guys have going on instead of being involved in Kiki's life and Mel's life and Stormy's life? And I have to blame Carlos for that. I'm sorry. I have to blame Carlos for that. So we do have 7 more minutes. LaDon, I'm gonna swing it back up to you. Any other thoughts on any other scenes or anything? We can give 2 minutes apiece. Anything else, LaDon? But I'm gonna schedule a live for later, so we'll go into detail because I got a lot when it comes to Mr. Martell and Neil Fletcher. But anything else,
Yeah.
LaDon?
No, I'm like Marita. I didn't touch that because it's a lot to get into, but I'm gonna wait for the
Okay.
live for that. But I will say, um, Pink Diva, I love that Mel said something about it. I like that she's putting Tisha's feet to the fire. I like that she razzle dazzles Tisha.
Mm,
She makes Tisha
mm,
flush. I like that Tisha's in the spotlight, that the microphone, the microscope is over Tisha. So yes, every chance you get, Mel, you bring up some stuff that's being talked about. We're not gonna ignore it. They didn't do
mm.
it with Mel. So I'm glad
Good
Mel
point.
brought it up. It just shows Tisha's attitude. That's all it
Mm.
ever shows. When she got out that car and didn't speak to Mel and was rude like that,
Oh
it
my
showed
God.
Tisha's badness, not Mel's. It showed Mel as, see, this is why she moved the way she moves. That's all.
Yeah.
No, it's all entertaining. Mel's doing her part. She's doing her job. Pull it on out, sister.
All right. Now that is an excellent point. And you know what? I agree with you. I see it both ways. And then we're gonna go to you real quick, Maritha. I see it both ways. I get what sis is saying because it's like, girl. Okay, Maritha, echo, echo. Go on mute, Maritha. Real
Oh,
quick.
it's me? Oh, okay.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah, most times you could tell it's an echo when it's moving on your side. So yeah, if you're not talking. But I understand what you're saying, sis, because it's like who got time for this? And yeah, this is why I left you alone and you could have stayed at home, blah, blah, blah. But LaDon, excellent point because it really does show. They all met with Carlos before the season started. They all agreed to come together. But Tisha is gonna shut down and run away each and every time when it's something concerning her. And I don't like that because Mel had a valid reason. She already knew the answer, but this is a reality show. What happened before? And the before was all this mess with the makeup artists and all of that. That was the before. So no, Tisha, you don't get a chance to run away if you the one that asked Kiki to find out what's going on anyway. But let's make Kiki the villain. You know what I mean? Great, great point, LaDon. So it is holding her feet to the fire in a sense. Love that. All right, Maritha, 2 minutes to you on our way out the door.
Okay, you know what? My thing is everything LaDon said, I have to totally agree with it. I mean, everything she said. But I'm just gonna add this part to it. You know, when I seen Tisha when she came up, she didn't greet Mel. She didn't do anything, but I also watched how Mel handled that as well. So Mel handled it just the way it's supposed to have been handled. You know, girl, you know what? We done played this game so many times. Tisha is so intimidated by Mel. She don't know how to act in Mel's company. She just don't know how to act when she get around male. She get nervous. You see how she get nervous and she get flustered and she can't really pronounce her words and stuff like that. She is her insecurities, every insecurity that
Mm,
Tisha has when she's around male, and it's in her head, it's not male, it's Tisha. Tisha look at
mm,
herself through male, all her inadequacies and
mm.
everything that male has. This is my opinion, and allegedly,
Mm-hmm.
that's what Tisha sees in herself when she look at male failure and insecurity,
Mm.
and
Ex-
and male
Excellent
is
point.
intimidating her without even being intimidating. So that's what Tisha problem is. She don't
Mm-hmm.
know how to be
Mm-hmm.
cordial. She can't be cordial. 2 minutes and that's the max. That's it. It's a wrap. No more.
Yeah.
That's what Tisha is.
Yeah.
That's not jealousy. That's insecurity. And
Excellent.
when she
Excellent
all
point.
that looking at
Yeah.
male.
Mm-hmm. All right. Now that's an excellent way to look at it. And yeah, I've been seeing that. And I'm gonna mute you, Marita, because there is an echo now that I'm talking.
Okay.
Um, I've been seeing the insecurity, and I'm sure you guys have as well, basically since season one. When Mel sort of took Tisha under her wing and, putting her out there to network and all of that. And it seems like then Tisha sort of looked up to the businesswoman that Mel was. And then now, with everything that's happened since this show started, Tisha got this sense of, the big head, if you ask me. But you are right, Maritha. It does read as insecurity. Great, great point. Now, look, I didn't know this live was going to be this live, child. This power hour, I say it all the time, is not enough time. Sis, if you are there, your connection again was going in and out. But I will say for the last time, join me tonight. It will most likely be, everybody's time changed, but mine. My time don't change here. So it will be, oh shoot, if I go at 7 Central, which will be 8 Eastern. All right. So I'm gonna schedule a live so we can continue this conversation. But Pink Diva, Pink Table Talk, take us out. Any last and final thoughts before we get up out of here?
I'm just looking forward to the live for this evening. And then
Yeah.
one other thing that I thought about in regards to the whole Tisha situation when they were in that gym, I think Tisha's problem was having to have that conversation with Mel because she knows that for all these seasons you've been lying, saying that you have not experienced infidelity in your marriage, and to actually be sitting in front of Mel and Mel knows because Kiki told her the conversations that you and her had prior to the whole water incident. And when Mel was bringing it up, I think Tisha got upset because now she knows that Mel knows something. She don't know everything that Kiki told her. And I think that's why she was so defensive and didn't want to talk about it because Mel knew once again that you've been lying all this time. So I think that's why she got so flustered and wanted to walk away because how dare you bring up my marriage spectacle over, the TV screen. I had fun enjoying people drag you in your marriage when you were going through it
Say it.
because I have to uphold to what I
Uh-oh.
originally. Huh? You can't hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay.
We heard
And
you.
I think she was like, how dare you make a debacle over my marriage because I have to uphold to what I said previously. I said initially that I had never experienced infidelity in my marriage, nor has my husband ever lied to me. And so for all of this stuff to be coming to the forefront, she knows the hit that she's going to take because you lied. She should have said, I don't know of anything. There was a situation, but we handled it and we moved forward. But for her to actually sit there and say that my husband has never cheated, I have never
Yeah.
experienced infidelity, and he has never lied, that's why she's looking and feeling crazy. That's why she's looking stupid because she put her foot in her mouth and is coming to the forefront. So I'm looking forward to this evening.
Mm-mm. Baby, we out of here, Prosperity. We will be back later. This was a quick Power Hour Live, but sis, on the money, okay? I know what I said season one, and that's just gonna carry on forever. No, ma'am. And then this thing that people want to say, why do you guys want to see Tisha's marriage break up so bad? That's not what people are saying. But people do want Tisha to discuss exactly what she discussed in private. We know that Tisha is the one that reached out to Kiki before about the big booty in the picture, in the phone that Marceau liked, and the midday surprise. She reached out to Kiki then. Then she reached out to Kiki this time. Kiki, go and get the information, and then you shut her down. So I hate that this was only an hour. We do have to go. Look out for that live. You guys make sure to click that notification bell. We will be back tonight at 7 Central to continue this discussion. And as I mentioned, going forward, we will be live Sunday evening, so we can just get it all off of get it off our chest. But things to ponder before we go live later on. Has Carlos abandoned Love and Marriage Huntsville, or is Carlos running from the backlash that has been and that will continue to be Mr. Martell Holt? So you guys let me know. Thank you to each and every cutie that joined me for this Power Hour Live. If you guys have not hit the like button, 622 watching, please go ahead and hit that like button. If you were in the bushes, please hit the like button for me as well. And